Hello. Today we're going to talk about conflicts. Conflicts seem kind of inevitable. Get into a relationship, maybe things are so nice and easy and fun at first. You're just connected and riding out that honeymoon phase. And at some point, that shifts and the conflicts begin. The unmet needs happen. You're not feeling so good anymore. And you don't know how to get it to stop. And in our society, we've been so conditioned to believe that conflicts are normal in relationships, like that they're supposed to happen, that they're healthy. Now, to be fair, getting stuff out in the open in a toxic way, because that's what arguing is, that's not healthy. That can still be more healthy than staying silent, right? And you're both just suppressing and stewing silently, but it's still not healthy. And it's still not necessary. You can have a relationship where, this is for men and women, like the woman is just receptive and open and sharing her feelings vulnerably and her needs vulnerably, and the man is just leading with care and telling her what he wants, and they come to a understanding where throughout the man is just feeling totally inspired and the woman is feeling totally trusting. That's the way it's supposed to be. That's the way that men and women are designed to be, when they know how to communicate, when they use masculine and feminine communication. My wife and I, we were like going, well, I guess we weren't setting the record. I know there's many couples who argue every day, but at our worst, we were arguing, we were having like bickering things every day, and then like big blow up arguments like every few days. And that's when I decided I need to figure this stuff out, because I'm not going to live with this. I'm either going to have to end this relationship because this is a nightmare, or I'm going to do whatever it takes to figure this out and figure out why the same crap just keeps on happening. We resolve something, we talk about it, we get to a good place, and then like a few days later or a day later or a week later or a month later, it happened again. Either the exact same argument or basically the same theme or something else, whatever, but it just keeps coming up. So it doesn't have to happen, okay? And that's what I learned from this polarity work, is that it does not need to happen, but you do need to make shifts in yourself. And if you're a man, like, you don't have to both be on board with this, right? If you're just here listening and you're like, oh, I really wish my partner was into this, that'd be great. And they don't need to be. Okay, at least not at first. They don't need to be. You need to be. You need to empower yourself. You need to learn how to shift how you communicate so that all of these conflicts can start. So for a woman, understand that a man's need in an argument, well, not in an argument, but throughout a relationship, but also in that arguing dynamic, he needs to feel received. Okay, now, of course, it's hard to receive a man when he is agitated, when he's angry, when he's critical, all that stuff. I'm not saying you just lay down and take it, ladies. But what I am saying is that if you shift how you communicate, he's going to typically, most of the time, a man is going to check himself, center himself, stop being judgmental, and start trying to help you. Because in that moment, like, if you're arguing with a man, you need help. You need help. I'm not saying it's your fault. Like, it's both your responsibility and the man's responsibility, but you need help from your man. And, one way to get that is to ask. Like, is to literally ask him for help, and share your feelings. Like, share that you're struggling with your feelings. Because if you're focusing on the content of the argument, like whatever it is that you're mad about, nothing is going to get solved. In that moment, the only thing that needs to get fixed is you're feeling bad because your man's yelling at you and you're struggling and you're feeling anxious and or angry, but probably almost certainly anxious, because a woman's physiology is not designed to be yelled at by a man, or by anybody. So you need to do that so that you can get that help, and so that he's actually inspired to also calm down and stop doing the thing that's setting you off, right? You guys need to get to a place where you're totally calm, he's totally calm, and you guys are communicating in a different way, trying to understand each other rather than trying to force each other to believe the other person. It's not going to work. And then, so for the man, a man's got to understand that what a woman needs is, she needs a few things, but, first and foremost, she needs to feel safe, right? She needs to be able to relax, because as long as she's feeling anxious, women deal with things differently, right? And can deal with things differently at different times, but it's either going to be, she's going to go into like kind of fawning, like people pleasing stuff, or just totally freeze up, I guess. Or she's going to fight. And what a lot of men don't realize, and I didn't realize this for a long time in my marriage, the first half of my marriage, is that underneath all of that fight is a scared woman, right? There's anxiety there. And yeah, there's anger too, but then it's the anger that the man's responding to. But if a woman could just share her fear vulnerably, and anger as well, a woman could share anger vulnerably too, but she could share her anger or her fear vulnerably, guess what? A man's going to want to protect her. Man's instinctually wired to want to protect a woman's heart and make her feel safe, but not when he's being attacked, right? So this is the trouble that men and women get into with these arguments. Men and women don't understand each other's needs. They don't know how to communicate in a way where the other person's needs are going to get met. And then there's going to be the communication breakdown. Then they both get triggered because their needs aren't getting met. And then they just continue to get triggered because both needs are continually being unmet over and over and over again. And that can last a minute, that can last 10 minutes, that can last an hour, that can last a day. I've had clients where it lasted basically several days, not like on and off. So once you know the language, so for men, let's talk about men briefly. So, a woman needs that safety, which means that number one, you got to emotionally center yourself. And a man has also got to stop focusing on the content of the argument, because it's useless. In that moment, the content, whatever it is that you're arguing about, the dishes, the diapers, the healthcare stuff, the lawn, the money, whatever it is so irrelevant. Even if, I'm not saying this isn't a big deal, but even if one person cheated on the other or just something horrible, it's irrelevant. It's not the most important thing to deal with in that moment. It is important to deal with, probably, depending on what it is, but it's not in that moment. What's important in that moment is, again, the woman is receiving emotional safety so that she can calm down and get out of that fight response, and that the man is receiving respect. Man needs to receive respect, because as long as the woman is going at him, judging, criticizing, blaming, whatever it is, he's being disrespected. And so his masculine instinct is activated and he's going into attack mode. To his instinct, it's like he's fighting a Tyrannosaurus, right? Sometimes a woman can be acting like a Tyrannosaurus too. She's really angry. Men as well, right? This isn't a woman thing. I'm just saying we can act very badly. But so when that happens, the only thing that matters, it's not the content of what you guys were arguing about. It's that the man's not receiving respect. So the only thing the man should be focusing on is to lead the woman, his woman, into respecting him. It's the only thing that matters, and doing it from a place of love. Because as soon as she stops disrespecting him, guess what can happen? He can, much more easily center himself and start actually leading rather than just being triggered over and over again, right? A man's got to be next level in development, that very, very, very few men are anywhere close to at. For a woman to be, judging and blaming just over and over and over again, and him being able to remain fully centered. he could try, a man might be able to manage it for, 10 seconds, 30 seconds, a minute, but typically a woman's going to keep pushing those buttons. Women know how to push the buttons, right? Unconsciously, totally unconsciously. And at some point, then he's going to react. He's going to lose his cool. So he's got to lead his woman into respecting him. And it's not just about respecting him. He's also simultaneously leading her into respecting herself. Because when she's being argumentative, she's not respecting herself. She's not honoring her heart. It's better than being a doormat, I guess. But it's like, it's communicating that she doesn't really believe her needs won't get met. Her voice won't be heard unless she's arguing. That's not true. It's the opposite of true. When a woman's arguing with a man, that's when she's not going to get heard. Just out one ear and in one ear and out the other. She gets heard when she knows how to be vulnerable. So the man needs to learn to lead the woman into being vulnerable by being masculine and leading, using masculine communication. And the woman needs to learn how to be vulnerable, be respectful, and using feminine communication and inspire the man into her man into leading, into being constructive rather than destructive, rather than being emasculated. And that's the only thing that matters in that moment. Until that gets solved, should never be talking about whatever the thing is that you guys are upset about. Once that gets solved, okay, now you guys are both in a calm place. Now you guys can actually talk about it. And ideally, you're going to need to know masculine and feminine communication to continue talking about it without re-triggering each other, right? Otherwise, the woman will say something disrespectful, probably unintentionally, and the man will say something inconsiderate, also probably unintentionally, and then it starts all over again. So these skills, masculine and feminine communication, man learning how to lead, a woman learning how to follow. Following is just as important as leading, just as difficult a skill set. These are absolutely necessary tools. Absolutely necessary. You're not going to be able to have a healthy, you could have like semi-functional relationship, but for the most part, not a really healthy relationship without learning how to communicate in this way. And then the same crap's just going to keep happening. You're going to try to shift it, and maybe you'll shift a little bit, but more stuff will keep coming up. Ugh, what a drain on a relationship. What a waste of energy. What a waste of time that could be so much better spent just loving each other, just being connected to each other, actually solving the problem. Because the problems, whatever they are, they will come up, right? There will be unmet needs. There will be, one partner will do something unintentionally, whatever. Lots of stuff will have to get solved. So that's what relationships are all about. And that's really fun to solve those things when partners know how to communicate with each other. When they don't, really sucks. It really sucks. So that's what I do, is I help you get those tools, learn exactly how to communicate as a man or as a woman, whether your partner's on board with it or not, and actually shift this once and for all so that you can get to a place of, okay, no more arguments. That's what I'm going to be teaching you on our Polarized Communication Masterclass. No, wait, change it to Relationship Your Dreams Masterclass, but we're going to teach you Polarized Communication. Do some role plays, show you what it looks like, take your questions. It's going to be an amazing, fun time. It'll be a massive step forward to get you to that place of just not having arguments ever again. Really take a moment. Think about that. No arguments. Just your needs being met, right? A woman, you just share what's going on with you, and the man's like, or your man's like, cool, babe, I want to take care of you. Let's sort this out. Or if you're a man, it's like the woman just shares vulnerably her feelings, and the man feels totally respected, and he's like, cool, I actually really care. I want to help you. That's how it's supposed to be. That's what I show you how to do. So sign up. It's in 2 days. Book your spot. PolarityMasterclass.com. It's in the little bubble below my face. Put that in your search bar. I'll see you there. We're going to have a fantastic time. Can't wait. Bye now.